Okay, and this is the gesso that I use. It's just the dollar and roundy that comes from Walmart. And mine's about down to here already. I need to get me some more of that. And then, like I said before, I've got a very yucky brush, and it's just going to be yucky. It's just a stiff, it's just like this, except for it's not new. I did finally break down and go to Walmart and get me another set of these, and it's like $4.95 or something for this set of it's like 25 brushes. It's a big set, and it comes with everything from, I'm going to show you some of the new ones because I really like them compared to the old ones. Okay, here we go. Here are the new ones. And what I really like about them is the handles are plastic. And as weird as that sounds like a thing to like, they don't absorb water when you leave them in the water, which I'm terrible at. So as you can see, here is one that I've already used, and I really like them. They seem to hold up really well. And I'll show you one of my ones before. Here's what happens if you leave them in the water, even just overnight. The paint would flake off the handle, and then it'll wind up in your project, and that would annoy me to no end. So most of my older brushes look just like that. So I'll start weeding through them as I go, and as they get a little too rough, I'll get rid of them. So, but some of them had this natural handle. This is one of the plastic ones. But some of these with the rough bristles, you get several different bristle types. Like this is a very soft brush. And then you've got some precision brushes. This is an angle, a chisel tip. Nice for really precise work. These soft ones will give you a smoother finish. You won't get near as many brush strokes with a piece like this. And another thing, when you get a set of brushes, before you do anything, kind of scrumble it around in your hand and do a close look and make sure that you don't have any bristles sticking out the end of your brush. And you can even, after you wet it, do the same thing. Just stroke down it a few times and make sure you don't get bristles coming off in your hand. And that'll keep most of the bristles out of your work. So I'm going to start with one of these nice rough, it's almost a stipple brush texture if you've ever done any stippling. It's almost like a boar's hair brush. The bristles are pretty stiff. And that's what you're going to use if you want some good texture in your gesso. It's going to give you some good grain lines and some good, like the one that just had the dots on the background. That's all I did, and it'll give you a real feathered out kind of edge look. So I'll be right back. Okay, so if the camera would have been filming, you would have seen me do that flower, but instead I'll do another one. I'm just doing something rather dramatic, so you'll be able to see it easily when I spray it. See if I can make this one a little smaller. Just dragging out some little petals. This is funny because I'm looking through the camera. What an experience! I took a college art course where when I was in high school we had a college credited 3-year art course, and one of the semesters we actually went to the college and did a workshop, and one of the things you had to do was things like put pen to paper, so to speak, and draw whatever you were drawing without looking, let's say, at your paper. You could look at the object, but not look at your paper. And then in another of the stations that you had to go to, you could look at your paper, but you only got to look at the object for the first few seconds. and then you just had to draw it from memory. Or then you had to draw something without ever picking your pencil up. You just drew a continuous line. So it was things like that that I'll remember when I'm doing something like this. So okay, well, we've got 2 flowers. We're going to start with that. Now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I'll let these 2 dry while we spray the other 6 that I did. So decide what to do on this one. Okay, since I did a flower on that one, I'll do some sort of semblance of a tree right here. Running out of gesso in my lid. Alright, and then I'll just pounce up here at the top, possibly in frame. There we go, some hanging down, maybe a bit of something like leaves. Alright, and as you can see up here, I'm just building it up really good and thick. Alright, and if y'all will excuse the noise from my heat gun for a second. Hopefully this way you can see it. I'm going to get really close up on that damp gesso. There we go. You can see it bubbling. And I would suggest working in a well-ventilated area. There's not much fume, but you don't want to take any chances. Now that won't be completely dry, but it's pretty darn close. So you can see how much that bubbled up and how much fantastic texture you can get. Now you can go back and you can flatten these, and then after you paint over them, come back and do it again, and it'll texture up a little bit more. It won't be quite as bubbly, but it'll be a good rough texture. And of course you can go back and flatten them all and heat it over several times to get different effects. So, but again, set that one aside and let it dry. Okay, here we go. Let's see how I can do this with my box. I hope you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. This one, all I did was some gesso right around the outer edge at the top, and I heat set that also. Now, I don't have anything that cuts tags. I don't have a die that cuts tags or anything like this. So, a quick tip, if you have a pair of these wavy edge scissors, you can cut. Let's see if I can be useless for a minute. Here we go. You can cut ticket corners, rounded corners to the inside. You could cut using 2 of the waves, if I can get this on frame, right here. You can cut a tag top. I did this wavy edge at the bottom. There's all kinds of, or you can just round the corners using just 1 of the scallops. So I don't have a crocodile or anything, so that's what I use to make my tag tops. So I'm going to put this in here and see if you can see what I'm doing. A quick tip, I know lots of people have trouble with their sprayers clogging on their Lindy Stamp Game sprays. What I do is I put it between my palms and roll it really vigorously back and forth instead of shaking it up and down. That keeps the powders at the bottom of your at the bottom of your bottle from going back up the tube, so to speak. So Swirl it in your palms until you get all of the stuff off the bottom to where it's suspended back up in the sprayer. And if you do this, I guarantee you, you'll have very little problems. Occasionally, I may still get one to clog. Turn this way. And if I do, what I'll do is I'll just take my cap off. As soon as it starts to feel clogged, I'll take my cap off, and either over my bottle or over the trash or something, I'll tap the tube. Just like that, until you get all of the sediment back out of your tube. And usually if you'll do that, and then before you screw it back together, give it a quick squirt, it'll clear any clog that you've got out of your tube. So I've got my extra sprayers that came with my set when I bought it, and I haven't had to use one yet. So here we go. I haven't heat set this yet or anything, and you can automatically see the difference in the gessoed area and the non-gessoed area and how it picked up the color. And on this Frosted Forget-Me-Nots, I will heat set this and then spray it again to get just a little bit more of that blue color. So let's do that real quick. And I have a cup hook that's screwed to the bottom of my desktop right here. And my desk is actually a dining room table. An old, like, late 80s style dining room table I picked up at a yard sale. So I have a cup hook that my heat gun hangs from. Alright. Just a little bit more. There we go. That's what I want. Again, sorry about the noise from my heat gun, but I really want y'all to see this sort of real time. Sometimes they'll flatten back out, but this one didn't want to. Okay, now. Okay, real quick before my memory card's full. There we go. Love how that stays in that crevices on that texture. It's fantastic. And this one I've still got a little bit more that I want to do to it, so I'll come back and show that probably at the end. Okay, on to the next one. Okay. How many times now? And I'm very sorry. I did film spraying each one of these, and between my camera and the storms we've been having and evidently a bad spot on my memory card, I didn't get it uploaded. It will not come off my memory card. So here's the tree one. And it's just done with the Gossamer Gold and a little bit of the Cocoa Bean Copper. And again, sorry about the inky, black, white, all different colored fingers. We had storms over the weekend, so we had no internet for several days. So it came back on about noonish yesterday. So anyway, there's the tree one. I love the way that one came out. Here is the wisteria one, and I even filmed how I made the wisteria. Guess I'll have to do that again. So here's one of the other ones. And on this one, when I painted the background black, I just kind of left some of this white down here. I didn't solidly cover it down here in the crevicey bits. So when I sprayed with the cocoa bean copper, some of it's a little heavier where it was white in the background, so it has a different look. I'm not explaining that at all very well. I'm annoyed with this video. It was supposed to be one part, wound up being two, filmed out of order, made me crazy. This one I just did my palette knife and just went along the edge with the gesso, and then heat set it so it bubbled up a little bit. See, now I don't even know what's on film and what's not. So this one's like the white one from part 1, maybe. Oh, this feels like a comedy. Not to y'all, to me. And where I did the little circles. And then I just painted it black. And I sprayed it with... Oh, lordy. I think the golden lump of coal. And then I did some of the frosted forget-me-nots over it. And it... I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Turn it kind of green. Now that's my next wish list, is to get some green. This one's the flowers. And this one I did the frosted forget-me-nots and a little bit of my homemade pink. Okay. It could be something else. Oh my goodness, it seems so long ago when I started this video. I have no voice left because of it. I was screaming at the camera, screaming at the computer, I don't know. This one I just did stripes, but it is my fingers. I just went down the surface of the card with some wiggly stripes. It's so ridiculous because I did all this on camera. And then I sprayed it with the frosted forget-me-nots. And I did it heavy up here and kind of let it run down a little bit. This one, I have no clue what I did. And I think I just painted on heavy and then maybe just pounced. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what I did. And then that's just with the gold, the cactus gold, the glitz spritz. Where it doesn't have any color, it just has the shimmer. And depending on how you turn it, it's really shimmery. Okay, this one I think I've already showed. I don't even know who I am right now. That's with the frosted forget-me-nots. And I heat set it. Yes, these I already did show. Okay. So there we go. There's the ones I already showed. These are the ones that I didn't do on camera. I promise I did do them. It's on my camera. If I could film what's on my camera through my camera. Guess that's not going to happen, is it? Okay. Hot mess video. Hot mess Lyn. And there we go. There's the tree again. That one's my favorite right now. So, once again, I'm at least glad y'all got to see me do the gesso part of it. So, I did get 2 memory cards, luckily, so when I swap my memory card out, hopefully the other one will be alright and won't have a bad spot on it, because it's very annoying. For right now, I'm just going to leave the bit of video on there. Hopefully it's filling up the bad space so that it won't happen. Everything else I've filmed since this, I still haven't uploaded, has been okay. It's come off just fine, so. This was the one that I really wanted to come back and show the painting of, but it's just some, you know, it's just real simple. I just took the gold metallic peridot and did it first, and then I came back with the purple, and even though it looks like there's several colors, it's just that metallic amethyst just where you see the blue and the green in between makes it look like it's got highlights and lowlights. So, okay, there you go. I've rambled on as much as I possibly can in one video, I do believe. And now it's going to be 2 or 3 or I don't even know. I hope y'all had a good weekend. It seemed forever long to me. Alright, holler at y'all later. Bye now.